Aerospace.
Yep.
I this we only have a little bit of time. I mean, I could do a whole show on this.
Yes.
It's just an amazing
So could I.
industry. Yeah. Um, yeah, we got some time.
Yeah.
But a quick snapshot. We've
Hmm.
talked about some stuff that Wainbee's working on right now. So hopefully within the next year, get you back on the show.
Sure.
But what's sort of the snapshot of aerospace
Yeah.
that you're working in?
Yeah. So aerospace is certainly a target industry. We've been doing work in the aerospace industry probably since the beginnings.
Mm.
Quick story. When my first interview with our current president, I used to compete with him at Bombardier in Montreal on tools, drilling equipment in the aerospace industry, and he remembered me. And so it just goes to show, like right across the country, there's a lot of aerospace that goes on, from the water bombers to all sorts of interesting type of stuff in the aerospace
Hmm.
industry. So yeah, for us, it's an important piece. It's a very highly technical industry as well, very driven on specification, and you really got to have, and quality is the utmost. It's not about speed, it's about doing it properly. And so that really suits us really well. We like that. We match up with that very well. So,
It would lead me to the question of comparative to the other industries. Is that where it's easier to sell that quality? Is there as much competition in price there, or is it is more about like this has to be right?
yeah, I would say it's hard to compare, but
Mm.
certainly the aerospace demands a certain quality. I would say, is it more than others? Certainly, it's very demanding on the quality piece. I've never considered it if it's more. I would say most companies want quality. I think the challenge is sometimes they don't understand. Nobody's
Mm-hmm.
told them why it's better. And
Right.
so generally, when we have those conversations with customers, they are open to that. Most companies do want quality versus just, a price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the aerospace, so you're actually working now. Are you part of the manufacturing system of like, are you developing the systems for manufacturing, or are you actually parts in the planes,
Right. So,
themselves?
yeah, distinction for sure. So
Yeah.
we talked about earlier liability and those sorts of things. So a lot of our suppliers that we deal with, they'll have direct divisions that deal with aerospace, that is onboard technology.
Right.
So what we deal with in the aerospace industry is all the um, sort of the services around
Mm-hmm.
manufacturing the plane, testing parts of the plane, those sorts of technologies for sure.
Right.
Machining processes and material handling processes, testing, all so that our customers can help put the plane together.
Right. I
Yes.
see.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Testing of, even structural testing. I think one of the
Oh.
neat fixtures that I've ever seen is Bombardier in Quebec. They have this very large fixture, and it's all surrounded by hydraulic cylinders. And they take a wing, and they flex it, and then I think 2 or 3 times a year, they kind of send a notice out and say, okay, today we're going to break the wing, and they bring it to failure, and the whole plant shakes. So it's quite interesting. Yeah.
God.
So,
Yeah, well, I was saying, well, because we had them on, well, they were one of our first guests on, and you said, did they mention where they manufacture their? I feel like on that interview,
right.
and I'll give myself a little bit of an out that it was one of our first ones.
Hmm.
We didn't even talk about where they manufactured
Right.
anything. We
Yeah.
just talked about the
Yeah.
technology.
Bombardier is very much a success story in Canada for sure.
Yeah, it's
Right.
amazing what they've
Hmm.
done.